Hi everyone, welcome back to the 100% Lives of P walkthrough. In this session we're going to be making our way through the Path of the Pilgrim and in the Malum district, and possibly if we have time we will take a look at the Black Rapid Brotherhood boss. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to go to an enemy with the puppet string. So if you jump to an enemy and they're not facing you, as you saw, you can actually pull yourself in and still get off a backstab. Now in this session there are, in this section there are actually traps on the ground that will inflict the break status. You saw a little bit of that when we were making our way over here. See, there's one on the ground right there. And you can actually see some guy waiting to ambush up there. And there we stepped into a trap, so you can see what that looks like. This guy's gonna fall down when we approach the chest. There are a lot of ambushes in this area, but if you keep an eye out in the trees, you'll see them. And in this chest is the acidic crystal spear. So for advanced players, this is the acid equivalent, or acid analog to the electric coil stick and salamander dagger. So this is your weapon for acid, and that's what humans are weak to. So we'll step around this trap. You can see up there we've got another ambusher, and up there we've got an ambusher. So if we go over here, you can see they're gonna come out. So everywhere they've put a piece of loot, there's somebody waiting to jump down. So we're gonna approach, they're gonna fall. This is kind of a loop that comes back to that top part, so you can kind of pick which way you want to go. I'm going to go down and take out stuff down here. And then keep an eye on the ground. There's a trap. You can see an enemy there. You can actually lure them into the traps too. Oops. I walked right into that. So there's a giant bear that we're going to fight that should be coming up here. You can see he just gets wrecked by Patient Smash. Kind of turns that fight into a joke if you have the Fable art ready. So with that guy dead, we can make our way down here. And over here in this pond, there's a butterfly and a couple of enemies. So we'll go after the butterfly first. And there's loot over here, but there's someone waiting to jump down. So yeah, lots of little ambushes in this section. And then here, if you look, there's a guy up top there. We can kind of lure out some of the guys on the ground floor. So now with them taken out, we can take down this guy. Oh, one more. Alright, now we can go for the big guy. He has this funny attack where he'll chase you for, for like a mile. And then he just kind of gives up. And then you can get a chain in on him. Pretty easy. you look up there, you can see there's a shortcut ladder. That's going to be something we'll unlock when we do a puzzle later for a cryptic vessel. At least I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. There's a bit of loot over here. I see crates, I gotta roll into them. Can't resist. Alright, and you'll see there's an enemy up here. Step away before I read, so I don't fall off. So we want to clear. We're going to clear off this top part first. Oh, okay, we're still up top. Thought for a minute I was going to fall off. We come over here. If you look, you can see there's actually a secret area above us, and we're going to take an elevator and get off early to get the loot that's up there. Now we can go down in here. Treasure to be found in the collapsing shack. Find out what happened to the greedy couple. We will, in fact, do that. So with that clue and that loot, we can go back out. And now we're on the ground here. And if you go over here, you can see that there is an elevator. And there's I believe, a little bit of loot, and we can open that shortcut door. And if you need to, you can rest up. It's not really even a big deal for us to do it and let some stuff respawn. That's okay, it's just more ergo. So now here's just going to go back down and we're going to walk off as we redescend here. And there's a piece of loot up here. Something we can use to upgrade our trident. Oh, that was a funny, wonder if I could puppet stream them. Oh, they're gonna come down anyway. This is the floor we wanted to be on anyway. So we're gonna head this way, where we're gonna have to deal with a really tough enemy. But maybe Patient Smash will just carry us. And as you can see, there's loot, innocent looking loot right in front of a gate, but we're gonna have this guy. Look at how much health we take off. But this guy is really, really terrifying. He does this thing where I'll show you, he leaps, and it can literally kill you before, yeah. It's pretty hard to perfect guard. You saw I did it once, but he often does it a bunch of times. And he leaps away, which makes him kind of unpredictable. But luckily we had Patient Smash. Patient Smash to carry us. So we can find out what happened to the greedy couple. Here they are. There's some treasure. Let's see what we get. New converter. So we should be able to equip that. We're at 59%. We get just enough, keeping our capacity at just the right level for this playthrough. we can go up here, and I'll show you something where we can look through this window, and you can see there's a treasure chest there. We're not able to get to this yet. And then there's that shortcut ladder we saw before. And then if you face that way, that was the entrance we came in to this little tomb slums area. So we will... Oh, didn't even see them. Wonder how they didn't aggro when I ran on the way up. So now we're headed towards the Malum district. You can see this booster glaive's just so good for kind of charging in from a mile away and taking things out. So on this bridge, we're gonna have some enemies climb up onto it while we're trying to make our way across. Be one on the left, one on the right, and another one on the left. And then if you look over here, we can drop down. There's two pieces of loot down here. This one and one across here. You don't want to fall in the water or you'll die. So make all your movement careful. And then there's a ladder to get back up over here, and then we'll be on the other side of the bridge. Not sure if I had an extra recovery wish stone. No, I only had the starter one. I'll go ahead and use a heal because we've got a big guy coming up here.
I test 1 2 1 2. We have a sketch.
See up there? There's the Black Brotherhood, one of them.
Tonight.
Talking up there, and then they let this guy out. Oh, accidentally did it at only 2 Fable slots. That's okay. We'll hit him twice. You can see that it's harder to stagger him. Oh, died so easily. I don't think they are. That's okay. Now we can head on in. We're nearly to the Malum district.
Now, here's a safety reminder for all the malcontents of the Malum district. A nasty puppet has invaded our territory.
That's me, I'm the nasty puppet. A little bit of loot over to the right here. And our way forward is down, but we're gonna get some loot up here first. So you wanna carefully walk across this beam. Right there, and they can actually drop back down. So to drop down here, it's pretty easy. You just walk off in the right directions. So here we just walk off onto this, then you walk off onto this, and then we head on over and get this loot first. You can kind of push your stick into the wall as you're moving to keep from falling. And then we're going to walk onto this beam. And then walk onto this. And then fall down here. And there's another beam here. We walk over here and go down. And then if you walk off here, you'll land on a beam. And then you're down on the ground. So not too bad. Welcome to the territory of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Remember, anyone who fails... Didn't read it fast enough. Anyone who fails to pay for protection fee on time is headed straight for the coffin. So they put you in the liar's coffin. which we'll actually even get to see. They'll have a coffin for us. Now we can make our way through here. You can see we have the red fox and black cat are here.
Oh, I saw you go into the factory. But you're here. So, wait. You came out of the factory? That's a new one.
I thought you would have been burnt to a crisp. But look at you. All intact.
Brother, being too frank is rude. We should praise him for being stronger than he looks. Why not join forces? Play our cards right, and we could defeat the villains who rule this area.
They're the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. The baddies who torment the residents around here.
We heard their hideout is stuffed with treasure. And it's a good time to liberate this place as well. Pretty sweet deal, don't you think?
All you have to do is create a distraction. That's it. The rest we can handle.
So, you gonna do it? Smart choice. Look at our smart friend, Gato.
We're no slouches in the fisticuffs department in a pinch. You lead. We'll bring up the rear and watch for hidden threats.
I like it.
So this is pretty cool. They'll follow us. Now listen to this.
Not bad, eh? Our new dumbass.
Hey. I heard you. So you can actually swing through the gate and take that one out for some ergo. So as we go through here, it's kind of like we got two specters with us. They're going to help us fight. Not that we really need much help in this part. This is just kind of a short section. Remember, we're invulnerable while we're doing the fatal, so that dog can't hurt us. We can just kind of hang back and watch them kill him. We get the ergo, even if we don't touch him. There's a ladder here, and there's one piece of loot up here. And then there's a stronger enemy inside here that we need to deal with. We can even back up and kind of let them handle it. Or just do it ourselves. Pick up the cluster grenade, the star fragment. And then the way forward is up the stairs here, but there's actually a little section here. You can see a shortcut door that we're on the wrong side of. So the floor actually would cave in here. So we can get this loot and then we'll trigger it on purpose. And then around the corner here, we've got a chest. And we get a nice new cartridge. You can see that actually put us overweight. We're not fighting puppets right now, so for now we can just put on the carrier's amulet. We're actually going to have to find this wine later on in the game for a side quest. And now we can go up the stairs and make our way forward. And they're going to stop here. See, there's the Black Rabbit Brotherhood mark. There's an enemy down here we should be able to plunge. Now this next section is very tricky. We have two of the acid hurling enemies. You can see. Oh, actually, I think you could see one. It's just kind of fun to point out. You can actually see through this wall. There's a chest of loot. And that's one of the enemies. I actually wonder, I've never tried throwing. I feel like throwing through there would just end up hitting the wall and not actually hit her. And then there's a giant enemy on the ground that we want to take out the two acid hurling enemies with thermites. So we should have, we have exactly two. Well, hopefully we don't mess this up. So while that thing is not looking at us, there's one here, and there's one there. Now we're just gonna wait for them to die. Now you could hear the sound. And I've got the ergo. So with them gone, we're gonna take on the scary one. This enemy is pretty tough. But we get him up, we got the patient smash off. Now this is an awful, he kind of whirls around like a crazy person. But then he's worn out afterwards. And we can take him out. And we get the patient's amulet. So to show that, put that in place of the swordsmanship masters. So this actually increases your stamina recovery speed, which is really nice. So we're starting to get a few more amulet options here. So we'll keep the life one carrier and patience on for now. And then we'll put another real amulet back on once we go back to the hotel and level up. So over here, there's an enemy. I'm just going to puppet string him. There's actually a trap on the ground. They've actually put the traps in the water, which makes them very hard to see. I think we actually tripped it by pulling him over it. I see crates. I got to roll through them. So there's an enemy here. And then we'll open this chest. And we get a quartz. More good stuff to do when we finally get back to the hotel. So you can see I'm kind of keeping my camera on the ground here to make sure I don't walk into anything. This is up here, there's a little rooftop section which we'll want to do. This is actually the way forward to keep going through the level. So we're just kind of looking at the ground, looking at the ground. You can see we got ambushed. Not a very scary ambush. So see, there's an example of the trap. You can just barely see it. So now we want to handle the upper part, which is not too bad because we actually took out the two acid hurling enemies. Oh, you can see our lamp is glowing. So what we want to do is get this enemy. The butterfly is going to spawn when we move a little closer, and we want to watch out for the middle of that floor or on that roof because it'll cave in and we would fall, and then the butterfly will, disappear before we have a chance to get it. So when we start going after it, luckily it actually didn't even run that way, so we're fine. So just to point that out, I won't walk over it, but basically it's this section here would have collapsed. Actually, before we go that way, we'll go over here and get this loot. This is where one of the acid hurling enemies was. And then we've got a piece of loot here, and there's also up here a chest. This is the bone-cutting saw blade. So you can see that that is motivity, and it's just a huge weapon. Look at the size of this thing. That's the charged attack. So you can see the second light attack goes into an overhead. So that's pretty nice for big bonk weapons, which we're basically playing with also, even though we're technique. We're doing our patient smash big bonk. So then there's a piece of loot here, and now we can actually plunge. And that's it for this area, we've cleared it. Now we can move on. And we've got some ambushes in the next area, in this room. I like puppet stringing those dogs because it just kind of stops what they're doing. Can't remember if there's an enemy that comes in here or not. Ready to be ambushed at every corner. Speaking of ambushes, there is actually one in here. You can see there. And then there's one more that's going to drop down. If they land on you, it's actually, they do some sizable damage. Once you know where these ambushes are, though, stuff gets a little easier. Because you know to anticipate them and then you don't get hit by them. We got another riddle from Arlecchino.
Another fine day in the city of Krat, but I wonder, my friend, just where you've been? I hope my return isn't too unexpected. It seems that our fates may be interconnected. Now, do pay attention. You won't want to miss when the king of all riddles says, "Riddle me this." I stand tall and proud when I'm young and bold, but I'm short and humble once I've gotten old. What am I?
The answers here are hilarious. Boa constrictor. Finished digesting.
That's right. Did you cheat? Are you cheating? Better not be cheating. You're irritatingly good at this. Or am I?
So the answer was obviously candle.
I am the king of riddles, and you are just, well, you. No offense. You're either very lucky, improbably bright, or more likely, you're cheating. But I would never level such an accusation in a culture where dueling is still an acceptable method of solving disputes. I'm the king of riddles, not the king of swordplay. You know, I wonder, perhaps it's your connection to Candle. Because the answer is, right? You get it, but you're not feeling violent. Even better. It's as good a time as any to grant you this boon. Now, take your new key and say, "Give me some room."
Oh, they got the
I can
the,
tell
the
you're
text
enjoying
is wrong. It
yourself
didn't
to a
match what he
star.
said.
I take leave of you now, but don't go too far.
So now we get another Trinity key. Now, the second Trinity Sanctum was back in the cathedral, but interestingly enough, there's not really any interesting loot. There's like a costume, I want to say, that comes from that particular sanctum. And if we go and take the Trinity key over there now, then for every subsequent key we get, we keep having to come back. So an optimization that I think works well is to just skip the second Trinity sanctum, because Trinity keys will open any sanctum, and that way when we get to the third one, we'll be able to open it immediately. The fourth one will be able to open immediately. And then when we finally get the last key, we can then go back, because the rewards just aren't, like, we don't need to bother with a costume for now. Like, we want the ones that actually offer us rewards that matter. So here we need to make a jump, but before we do that, in case we mess up, we're going to unlock this shortcut. So I recommend doing that first, because there's nothing sadder than falling down on the wrong side and then having forgotten to open this door. So this just goes back into the area where we fought the big guy. If you go, that's the way back towards the Stargazer if you were to run all the way. So now we can make that jump. If we fall, if we mess anything up, it's totally fine. We'll just have to run back up and try again. See, they've even got their mark up here. So we can walk carefully. And then we can actually just fall. So we open the door. Can't remember if there's an ambush waiting for me here, or if it's just free loot. I think there's an ambush here. Actually, it sounds like there's another one. Maybe that's a death rattle. Oh, no, there he is. These dogs are so annoying. I don't care that you were stuck in the little kennel. I'm gonna get you. You can see there's some loot to get up there. Just over here. You can walk over. We're nearly hit back to the Stargazer. You saw there was a shortcut door when we first got to the Stargazer that led to the Red Lobster Inn, and we're going to come at that through the back door. See one of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood up there. So there's actually 4 siblings. So it's four enemies. They comprise the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I see crates, I gotta roll through them. Can't control myself. I'll go ahead and heal since we have tons of pulse cells. Oh, that's fine. You can see they have a really long attack chain, it's like 4. Now there's gonna be a big enemy here. We're gonna lure them out because it's just easier. We don't have to fight them with all the others. And they run faster, so they come up earlier. And then we're gonna try to just patient smash them. Let's see if we can time this right. There we go. And they're staggered. And notice how the other guy can't hit us because we were in the middle of doing a fatal. That guy got melted. So a lot of patient smash like that is getting the timing right. You know, but anticipating that they're going to come in so that you don't get caught in the animation and hit. clear out the area. There's a little bit of loot to get over here. This is the way forward to the boss. And then there's some loot here to read. So we learn about the Monad Charity House. If you look here, there's a ladder. We can go up here and there's a merchant and a chest. So we'll open the chest first. We get a Legion caliber, and that should allow us to upgrade our puppet string.
I thought there were no more survivors. But you... You're new. I do love a bit of commerce, but the bosses are really strict about who I'm allowed to sell to. Are you with the Black Rabbit Brotherhood?
So this is that smiling bunny mark we got. We're now able to show that.
Can't tell what's real and what's fake, to be
And
honest.
he will let us access
My
his
job is
wares.
selling stuff, not detecting forgeries.
And this is the
it's
merchant
fake,
that has
you'll be the
unlimited
one to get
throwables.
punished, not
So
me.
if you're willing to farm the ergo, this is where you can go to get throwables. So to cover them really quickly, we know what Sawtooth Wheel is. It's the one that does almost no damage, but is used to knock enemies off ledges or trigger traps. Saw Blade's really fun. You can hurl it, and then it will actually sit there and do continuous damage and whirl around, at the enemies, where the enemy was when it hits. Sharp Pipe is just something that you can throw. It's piercing, so this allows you to sort of pick the type of damage. Cluster Grenade. So this one does continuous slash damage. Cluster Grenade will do continuous strike damage. Shot Put is great because it will actually greatly contribute to staggering. So if you're ever in a situation where, like, the enemy's got the staggerable window, the white bar is flashing, but you just can't get in. They're just, they're busy swinging wildly in front of them. You're not able to get a charged attack off. You can throw a Shot Put, and it will stagger them. So that can be very situationally effective. We've covered these. These are the three different just grenades that inflict the different types of damage. So Thermite was fire, Throwing Cell is electric, and Carcass Body Fluid Bottle is actually the acid one. And that's what humans are weak to. And we're about to fight the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, and they are weak to acid. So if you decide you want to use throwables on them, this is what you want to be throwing. These drop on the ground. They're used at close range to create pools of the particular type of status effect. So you can do fire, electricity, or acid. The abrasives allow you, right now we have the grindstone use, but we only get one grindstone use. You could, if you can find the window for it, you could apply another abrasive after that and then use those and consume them. This is an excellent weapon. So we're going to grab it. Also for the trophy, we want to grab it. There's a shot cartridge we're going to grab. And then there's a record. So when we go back to the hotel, we can play that record. And I am also going to go ahead and... I think I'll actually grab a couple of these. And also replenish my Thermite a little and get a Shot Put. Just to have a little bit more situational options. And now if we go back down, just jump. Here's our shortcut. So we will go back to the hotel now. I think we probably can level up our weapon, but maybe I'm wrong. I was not paying attention to the loot I was picking up. I've decided for this playthrough I'm leveling up the Trident of the Covenant as my special weapon that I'm going to give attention to.
I know my way around a weapon.
So we do have enough. We can take the big pipe wrench to +6. And now I can go over and look at my Trident. And we have enough to take it to +2. And we should have some quartz. Pretty sure we got some. And here's the cat. You can pet him periodically and see if his reaction is improving. No, he still hates us. We'll get there. Oh, right. I had a record to play. And we wanted to upgrade our puppet string. When we get the final one, which is 3 more Legion calibers, we will actually do a really damaging attack when we pull ourselves to the enemy. So that's really, really great. You gotta find, similar to Fable Arts, you gotta find the right window, or you'll end up just screwing it up. So you have to kind of know timings and know when you can get away with it. Let's see if we have a Legion plug. Nope. Check in with everyone real quick since the record's playing.
At the House of Vanini.
Eventually, before you go into NG+, you'll want to grab all these cranks just to have them. But I won't worry about them for now since we don't really need any motivity or advanced cranks. I can show off the bramble curved sword. You can see that's fast. With C scaling on the handle. So it's like a quality weapon. That's the term in Souls for, like, this is a weapon that scales, equally well with motivity and technique. It's not great at it either, but it does scale with both in ways that aren't absolutely terrible. So Fable Art. That was the Blade Fable art. It's a really cool motion. You get that blue swirls, red swirl. And then the handle. That's one that you could do. It only costs 1 Fable art to do that. See that? So pretty cool. Put our big bunk weapon back on. And we will go spend our quartz. Just want to make sure we're fully prepared for the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Like I did with the previous fights, I'll walk in there and kind of show it to you with a Spectre, and then we'll start the next play session doing it for real. So there's staggered duration is good. We like perfect art destruction. We like enhanced charge stagger attack 2. I'm going to carefully look at everything because we only have 1 quartz to spend. I don't know, we might have unlocked the ergo. Yeah, I actually think we're going to need to go with this. We really want to get as much XP ergo as we can. I don't think he has anything new to say. Oh, he did.
Disease turned into a monster. That's just tragic. Could the disease lead to puppet frenzy? No, that doesn't make sense. Remember, puppets cannot get the disease. But puppets shouldn't frenzy either. I made them to obey and protect humans, not go berserk and harm them. But the stalkers blame me. They think I worked with the alchemists to spread the disease to puppets. Oh, sad. All this resentment, with a lie at the root of it. That's why my only wish is that you stay a good boy. No resentment. No lies. The city asked me and...
And now, finally, we can level up.
You're full of surprises. A puppet that keeps changing, keeps growing. I can feel a change in your ergo. Change is never easy. Look at me. A human trapped in the shackles of the past. I wish I was back in Krat before the petrification disease. Before the disaster. Krat was a city of light. A city of joy. I wish I could go back. Even just for one day.
So the Blackguard Brotherhood would be weak to acid. If you're playing advance, you know, and you've got the Pandemonium Legion arm, you could use that. We don't yet have an acid grindstone, but we could buy acid abrasives if we wanted to. But frankly, they're not really. The fight isn't hard enough to really worry about it. You can use fire, and that'll work just fine. So it's actually worth dying to this fight once, because there's actually extra dialogue that you hear when you run through when you make the run back the second time. Jiminy actually says some lines, so we'll pull the boss with a Spectre, and then I'll die on purpose, and then we can run back and you can hear that. And here's an example of how you're going to run to the boss. Just kind of ignore everything in here. Oh, I missed a piece of loot. It's unfortunate. Maybe I could jump down and get it and run away from everything. Oh, star fragment. It's always a star fragment. You can see this thing's really annoying. So let's run out here and rest. That's really funny. It's always the star fragments, man. So we'll head up here, and this is the way forward.
Looking good. Who'd have thought we'd make it this far? You've got all kinds of skills. Hey, everything went smooth as silk. And you know me, I don't impress easy.
Sure, but I gotta ask. You really gonna take on the Black Rabbit Brotherhood? By yourself?
So we'll pull out a Spectre, let you see the fight. Watch the cutscene. So the way this fight works is there's 4 enemies, but the eldest of the Brotherhood is basically the boss. That's the health bar. You've got to get to 0. As you're damaging him at different health thresholds, his siblings will come out. So you fight him for a little bit, then the first sibling comes out. The way they expect you to do the fight is you're supposed to switch to the sibling, get their health bar down to 0, and they'll flee. Then you hit him a little bit more, and then another sibling comes out when he's low. Once you get the eldest lower, and then when the eldest is like at 30-ish%, you know, the third sibling will come out. Then you take care of them, and then finally you finish him off. But I've actually done this fight where I just focused the eldest, got him all the way down to 0, let all 3 siblings come out. So, but it depends on what kind of build you have and whether you're comfortable trying to pull that off. The expected way to do the fight, I think, you know, is that you switch to the one sibling that has come out, take care of him, and then switch back.
On. You ain't seen nothing like my blood.
So you can see this guy is He's just kind of hilarious. He's got this massive sword. So you can see we damaged him down a little bit, so a sibling came out. I actually wonder how confused the AI must get with... I guess the sibling will stay on me while the Spectre fights the other one? Oh no! So so both of them are focusing the Spectre. That makes this pretty easy with a Spectre, I guess. So because I got them lower enough. Oh, that's funny, he was in the air. So the patient smash missed. But we got him a little lower. We should see another sibling.
You played nice with the others. Don't you want to play with me, Mr. Puppet?
So the AI will the bigger brother, the eldest brother, will kind of back off when a sibling is out, and all he'll really do is kind of occasionally run at you, and you'll hear him grunt, and that's how you know that he's coming. Like that. And then you just have to, well, don't fail like I did, but basically what you have to do is just dodge roll as he's coming at you, and then you'll be fine. And then you can keep focusing on the sibling. So basically, yeah, you just, keep hitting him, and then the last sibling will come out. This is ridiculously easy with a Spectre.
That's foolishness.
So see, we could actually just kind of switch to him and focus him if we wanted to. But at this point, I'm going to die. Because that's basically the entire fight. But you can imagine that it's a lot more hectic when they're on you and not on a Spectre. And then what I wanted to show here is on this run back, we actually get some new dialogue from Jiminy.
Hey, what's the big idea leaving us behind? Oh, I knew we shouldn't trust them. Let's get out of here and give those lousy bums the business.
And alright, that'll conclude this session. In the next video, I'll show you how I beat the Black Rabbit Brotherhood without a Spectre. And then we will continue onwards to Rosa Isabella's Street. Till then, see you next time.